Okay, we should be.
No, I
We're
haven't.
recording it. We can continue.
Okay.
Okay, so the last thing we, uh, so we just got DC'd, technical errors, uh, but now we're back. The last thing I believe you said was that I forget. So
Well,
let's move on to what was just said.
me and Neff, yeah. So yeah, me and Neff were talking, but that wasn't recorded. So we'll just talk about another topic. Do you want to give her a hypothetical scenario, Zach?
I want to get back to the politics. That's what I want to get back into.
How about this?
Okay, so,
Okay,
so
to make
you
it
believe
fair.
that hate.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Yes.
okay. So here's what. Okay, so far your argument has pretty much been that he doesn't see the big picture, and the people are being oppressed. I want you to give me what your big picture idea is, ways we can achieve that, and who's being oppressed, and how we can stop that oppression from continuing.
Who's being oppressed? Okay, human beings. Okay, so for one, so I'm going to use a family systems model right here. So family systems, you can look at nature and you can look at the world, and anytime there is inequality, somebody is scapegoated, and Donald Trump does nothing but scapegoat. So when I look at something like that, I can look at the details of the tactics that somebody's using, and that just spoils everything that they stand for. So when he scapegoats and when he comes from a completely negative standpoint, all he does is preach hate, and he uses emotional appeal. He uses all of the logical fallacies. And I mean, so
Okay, okay.
if we
The
watched one of
problem
his
is
speeches,
you're not giving me. You're saying he's
it,
doing all these things, but you're okay. Are you going into this because I need the details. I need the details. That's
but I
you.
can't so I can't give you the details and all the data from the
Then
top
how
of my
can you
head
call your
because
view
I'm not sitting here.
objective if you can't give me any
I
data? Didn't you just say
listen.
earlier that
I bet
the
you're an
problem with people?
INTP.
I am.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so the reason I can give you this is because I've already formulated my opinion. I've already formulated um, everything that I've watched from him already. I've dismissed that because I have a lot of other things that I can think about, that I can store, a lot of other data that I store.
So pretty much
Um,
I
you
would,
don't know
I would,
what you
Zach.
don't know.
I'm gonna say this. It seems to me that Zach and Neff, you guys are both collecting information. That's for sure, right? You guys are collecting different information. However, would you agree upon that, guys? Zach and Neff?
Wait, are we? Is she an F?
yes,
Wait, what's the? Did you say
Neff.
she's an
Yeah,
F?
you can call me Neff. You can call Neff. Neff.
Oh, I thought you said
No,
if
no,
the. Okay, okay, okay.
no, yeah, no. Zach is asking if you were an F as opposed to a T.
Oh, okay.
I thought you referred to her as an F. That's why but I misheard.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe. Let's see here.
I think she has. I think she's a thinker type, but I think she has. I think she has because I think she has FI though. I think FI is definitely in there. But
Hmm.
let's continue the politics.
You
Okay.
guys, what is FI? Can you?
Yeah.
I know that's
So
that's introverted feeling, correct?
exactly.
Okay.
Let me see. With introverted feeling, whether it's your first, second, third, or fourth thought, it's gonna be some other names for it is harmony. Oh, sorry, not harmony. Authenticity, right?
Okay.
Really taking in the information that you're resorting to is whether you think something is uh, should be done or not, right? It's sort of like
Mhm.
ethics, right?
Right.
We kind of we just have an answer. If we look into if we resort to FI, we're kind of looking at how we might feel about something, whether it's not if it's true or not, but if it's wrong or right, if it should be acted on or not, right? If it will uh, bring us to a better world or a worse world, right?
Hmm. Okay.
So and it's yes, another name for it is authenticity or ethics,
Okay.
right? As a code name for FI. Whereas FE, let's say on the other
You think
hand,
FE has more to do
is
with morality? I saw that.
come again.
I heard that quote from somewhere that FI is more concerned with ethics, whereas FE is more about morality. Would you agree with that, Henry?
FE, the way I've heard it, the way I see it is FE is just first considering others, right? Using, so FE and FI, sometimes there's definitely areas of overlap in that they could come to the same conclusion. Same with all the other functions as well, whether it be, TE or TI, they can all come to the same conclusions. But FE, it's like if it's in your dominant function, you're first, where your information is coming from is you're considering others first, right? It's not that you're trying to please them necessarily. Yeah, that would be extroverted feeling, right? So FE would be a ESFJ or even a ENFJ.
Somebody with an F.
That would be FE, extroverted feeling.
But
right?
that doesn't necessarily imply that F types are. I mean, you probably are familiar since you're. Yeah, I mean, F types doesn't necessarily imply the person isn't logical or operates on objective data. So it's more like usually that's the highest cognitive function. Usually that's what they prefer, and they're kind of if they're have that feeling higher in their function stack, then they're going to perhaps use other functions as a tool to pursue that function. So if you're an FI user, you're going to operate with TE in a way to manifest the higher ethics and ideas that you believe in, etc. But
so is that why you thought I'm an FI? Or that I was using?
Yeah. That's why I think you're an FI. But I don't necessarily think that you're an F dominant. I think I'm not sure. I feel like you might be a thinking type. But I'm unsure. I'm undecided.
What do you think? What do you think Zach is? What his first function is?
I think you have SE too because you noticed you talked about the lights, but I feel like that's the only reason I think that. So I'm unsure about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, the lights thing. It's intuitionally, we automatically think SE, right? Just immediate information, immediate sensory information. But it could also be, FI, right? It could be even SI. It could be nostalgic reasons. Maybe you have attachments to lights. Maybe you have some sort of, memory for pretty lights, Or maybe it could be any other reason.
Okay, I want to digress though. I want to go back. I think that the fact that you say that that you no longer give thought or your energy to thinking about Donald Trump, I think that is being intellectually dishonest in the sense that you're removing yourself from the conversation. So I'm going to force you to have this conversation. Are you prepared to do that, Nefertari? Let's get back. Who's being oppressed? Why? How can we improve on their oppression? You said human beings.
Who is being oppressed?
And how? How?
Who? The gap between the rich and the poor continues to grow. There is definitely classism. There is definitely this world society has become top heavy. Where do you know what I mean by top heavy? Where most of the wealth is most of the wealth is in one place. And it's kind of like, so stuff has kind of been turned upside down, so there's no balance. And looking at it from a big picture, it's really hard for me. What you're asking me to do, Zach, with the details it's challenging to me because I look at big pictures. I take details,
I think
put
it's
them
challenging.
together.
I think that's a cop out. I think it's challenging because you have to explain your position, and you're struggling to do so because you're using ambiguous terms. So I want you to not use those ambiguous terms. I want you to give me definite reasons. Where is the wealth? Who is the wealth? Who is the fucking wealth? Who is the wealth?
Okay, wait. But here's the thing. You have to respect that there is a different way of thinking and that there is a different way of processing information and storing information. So
no,
the way that I process and I store information. So I haven't even been able to finish what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is,
get to what you're saying.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm trying to. I'm trying to. So, the way I look at things in a from a more abstract. I look at everything abstractly. Okay, so I form an idea and conclusion from the little details that I get, and I say, okay, this is this picture. And I think in really, actually, like bigger ideas, kind of concepts. Okay, so I apply concepts to things.
Okay, can I?
And I want to comment on that. No, I want to comment on that
Okay,
before
okay.
you, Zach. And I would say that there's been people throughout history who've made a positive impact, or just made a huge impact on history through those means, Neff, through the process that you just mentioned, right? I'm just gonna say that
Okay, well,
on
I'm
a
gonna just,
biological level.
Wait,
Go
did you
ahead.
say that again?
So the
What is,
process you just mentioned, NF, how you take in abstract information and you arrive at a big picture, let's say set of information, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna what I said was that throughout history there's been people who use that process to basically have I said initially I said positive impact on humanity, whether it be on a micro,
exactly,
meso, or macro scale, right?
exactly.
Even though we haven't come to, or at least not universally, not everyone has come to understand how that process exactly works. But I think there is more information on how that process works now. And now I think later on we're gonna revisit what, like, you're gonna take us through a little journey, and this is gonna be foreign to you, Zach. I think actually it probably is foreign to you because it doesn't seem familiar. It doesn't seem to make sense with the language that we have right now, because it definitely seems like we're speaking on different wavelengths, right? Even though we're all speaking English, but we're not dealing with the same substance. We're not standing the same ground
no,
right now.
no, 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 no. That's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an INTP. I know what it's like to deal with the abstract. I know what it's like to deal with internal logic. But you are
Okay, but
using that you are using it as a scapegoat to not explain your position. I want you to explain
wait,
your
wait, Zach,
position.
Zach. Actually, so right now you're accusing me of something, and
I
you're
don't care.
making
Yes, I am
wait,
accusing you. I'm accusing you
you're
of being
making the
intellectually
assumption.
dishonest. This sort of worth
You're
theatricality
making the
is
assumption that
complete
I'm doing this in a
horseshit.
way
I
from
want to
an
hear
argument.
your views. I want to hear your
Okay,
criticisms of his
Zach.
policies, which I have yet to
Okay,
hear. So let's go. Let's hear the fucking
okay,
criticisms of the
wait,
policies.
Zach. I think in a different way than you do. Do you know how I knew you were an
Therefore, you can't
INTP?
come to the same conclusions? No, that's full of
Wait,
shit. That is full of
wait.
shit.
I can come to the same conclusion. Use the same process.
But what is that conclusion? You're not giving the
I
conclusion.
can
You're
come to
using
the
this sort of worth
conclusion.
theatricality to escape
Okay,
your
so
position.
listen. I can look at something, and I can look at it abstractly, and I can say this is imbalanced. This
Tell
is
me how it's
not
imbalanced. Tell me
equal.
how it's imbalanced. Because
How is it imbalanced?
if you just say
How is
you
it
know
imbalanced?
it,
Because he's using people as a scapegoat. He's using oppressed people. Okay, so we can say Mexicans. We can say people who don't have a lot of money. We can say people who have been who are at a disadvantage. Different races of people, different classes of people, different genders, different. Everyone who has a disparity, other than people who have white privilege, everyone's at a disparity on some level. Okay, so those are the people that he uses as scapegoats, and he's using it in a dishonest way because he's using it to appeal to the prejudices and the ignorance of the people who support him.
okay, you say that. All right,
The
Donald Trump,
fear,
out of all
fear
the other
mongering.
GOP candidates right now, pulls the highest with all of the minorities in the GOP. All the candidates in the GOP. Are you attacking legitimacy of those minorities? Do you think they don't know how to serve in their best
I
benefit?
think they have cognitive dissonance.
So yeah, you're
Do you know
attacking
what cognitive
the
dissonance is?
legitimacy of
I,
them because of that. That
I
it,
am. I'm making an observation, and off of the knowledge that I have about cognitive dissonance, I know what cognitive dissonance is. I actually work with people who are brainwashed, and it's
Oh,
called
okay, okay. I just
cognitive
want to say
dissonance.
all these points you're bringing up right now. I don't give a fuck. Let's go to the policies. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't
Okay,
care what you do
I
for a
don't.
living.
So,
Well,
okay,
okay.
so
What? Go
yeah.
ahead.
So I'm not. So listen, Zach, I don't have data like you do because I don't store data like you do. Okay, I don't have to have all the data to come up with my conclusion, to see the
But you
picture
do
for
in
what
an
it is.
intellectual
I
discourse.
see it
You
in
need to
abstract.
back up your arguments, and all you're saying is that he's missing the big picture and that people are being oppressed. Okay, if you're talking about income inequality, to what extent do people who earn their wealth not deserve that wealth? Okay, why should it be redistributed to members of the society? Why? Tell me that. Tell me that.
Uh, okay, because
Yes, she is, Robert.
oh wow, that's just such a huge. People are not given the opportunities to get to a place where they can make that kind of money. People are privileged. There are people who are born into poverty are usually end up in poverty because of the disparities that are built into the system. It's systemic. Okay, so when people are not educated and they don't see, then that plays into the psychology of it because people don't believe that they can go beyond something. And they don't understand. They don't understand what their opportunities are, maybe. And it's kind of like winning a lottery ticket to be able to come out of poverty and make a whole lot of money because you have to. There's a whole setup in the system in
It's like
order to
a
be able to do that.
Or how about we
tremendous.
tax corporations and we tax the systems that hire people such as legal immigrants and pay them less than what they're supposed to? How about we tighten up our trade deals with foreign countries such as China and force our corporations to manufacture more goods here in America and get those jobs to our own citizens? Don't you think that would help with
I
with
agree.
the poor?
I agree. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Well,
I
there you
agree
go.
with.
There's an economic policy
But
for Trump to agree
listen,
with. But then
that
again,
that does
Bernie
not
has similar
outweigh
views, though. Bernie has similar views,
that.
so fair enough.
Exactly, exactly. That's why I agree with it because I am intellectually honest. But with Donald Trump, that stuff that you just mentioned that I agree with, um, it doesn't outweigh what he's doing with the in the big picture.
Okay, so
It
what does he
doesn't
do in the big
outweigh
picture?
what
Let's
he's
talk about
actually
that.
doing.
So
Bigotry,
how does that
inequality,
manifest? How does the bigotry
fear mongering.
manifest? How does the and the fear
How
mongering?
does bigotry manifest?
Yes, in what ways
Let's
is he manifesting bigotry?
Neff, I would like you first to come up with your own answer, and also maybe come up with an answer of how it might, let's say, affect young children. Let's say, like, the youth of America. You know.
Okay. With what? With the bigotry that I'm talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, the way he talks about, let's say, okay, we're not letting Muslims in this country, and we should send all the Muslims back.
Okay, he never said that. He never said that. He proposed a
Okay.
temporary ban on Muslims, considering there is a huge crisis going on in the Middle East because of ISIS right now. How is that crazy? How is that insane? Tell me
To
how that is
I,
illogical.
to not let Muslims in the country.
Why is it illogical to you that proposing a temporary ban on Islamic immigration while there is a refugee crisis because of ISIS going on right now in the Middle East? Why is it such a bad idea to temporarily ban refugees from coming in to our country, considering that most of these refugees are young men? Okay, there's not much women or children in them, and plus ISIS has said that they are planting
I
their
don't
own
know
units.
where'd you get that data?
Okay,
I saw some.
I can link it to you after we get done with this discussion.
I
But
okay.
but
I can link you some data on who the refugees are and some pictures.
But we know what happens when you let the refugees in. Look at these European countries. Look at Cologne, Germany. Look at what happened in fucking Paris. Look what happened in fucking Brussels. We know what happens when you let these refugees in. What we need to do is this is how we should do a foreign policy. And
How
this
many
is
people died?
and
How
now
many
this
people died?
well, okay. If you're about to use the argument that it doesn't matter that much, then
No,
that
I'm not saying it doesn't matter because every human life matters.
okay.
But how many people died?
The thing about I don't know the exact numbers, but a lot of in Germany in specific in Cologne, there have been a massive amount of sexual assaults going on by these young immigrants, and it's getting completely insane. Like in December with with the scenario where there was a gauntlet of some sort at the train station in Cologne in Germany, and all of the floodgates came open of how much sexual harassment has been going on from the immigrants that are coming in. We can't just let. Okay.
Sexual harassment.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
guys.
And
Whoa, 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 whoa.
it's ironic that the left. It's ironic that the left. Okay, complain about a rape culture when they want. When they're totally okay from people coming from a real rape
I'm
culture
waiting for you to
into
tell
our
me
culture.
about
Wait. Zach. So I'm gonna let.
Yes,
Guys,
because all that illogic comes in together. All that logic.
Okay, guys. I'm gonna speak over for. So I'm gonna let Zach have, his last statement, and then Neff speak her last statement, and then I'm gonna allow you guys to have a closing statement. But I'm gonna allow Zach to finish his sentence, and then Neff finish his sentence. Is that okay? And then I'm gonna bring a really relevant topic. It's gonna go meta. Okay, we're gonna talk about the actual interaction that we're having right now. Right? I want to see what you observed from each other's way of interacting. Right? I want to see what you guys see in the other person, and I want you to really see what the other person truly values at the core and where they're coming from first, as opposed to where you guys are. Did that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go meta, because I think. Do you think it's valuable that the world sees this type of interaction and then see how it plays out in the end? Because there's so much people. I do think we need people like Zach, and we definitely need people like Neff. I agree that there's definitely, for every function, for every type of person, humans are important, right? I'll say that. I'll leave at the details. So Zach, I'll let you. Do you guys want to have a closing statement before we go meta?
We should let Russia bomb ISIS and help these people get back into their country and let them go back into their own self-autonomy. Right.
That's going to fix things. How has that worked in the past? How's that?
Okay, don't respond to that.
Bombing people works. Give me data.
Okay, refer to the invasion of Iraq. Yes, the invasion of Iraq is true. But Donald Trump voted against that shit.
You guys are breaking the rules.
Tell me it's worked.
Wait, what?
Give me the data.
No, it hasn't worked.
Okay, we're bombing people have worked.
No, listen. Okay, I agree with you.
No,
wait, hold on. We destabilized that whole region.
I know, it's so
tempting. I agree with you there. Okay, but Trump voted against invasion of Iraq. A lot of the candidates, Bernie voted against it, etc. Hillary didn't, of course, that fucking warmongering bitch. But
hey,
at least we agreed on something. So,
I think. Well, how are we supposed to deal with ISIS then? We got to get these people back into their own country.
ISIS, it's like dropping food coloring. Okay, so take red food coloring. Okay, that's ISIS. Drop it into a bowl that has some blue food coloring in it. Now, go and try to get the red food coloring out.
I'm not following your logic.
I know it kind of doesn't make sense.
It's a complex mess that it's very.
Well, are we
There's
supposed
no way to get rid of
the Islamic
ISIS
State?
like that.
What are we supposed to do about that? If we ignore, are they going to go away? I mean, we caused it pretty much. I think we both agree on that. We caused this shit. I think what we disagree on is how we're supposed to deal with it. And I don't feel like we're obligated to take in the refugees from the area. That's where I think we differ on.
Would you agree on that, F?
So how do you think we should deal with ISIS?
I have no idea. I
think we should
knows how to deal with them.
Okay.
Right now, it's such a complex, huge issue. It's going to take a lot more than a couple of years to figure it out.
Yeah. Okay, Neff, Zach, he kind of cheated with his last statement because he kind of drew you into another little clash there. And that's fine. That happens. Neff, what's your, let's say, last statement in terms of what the people should pay attention to, what we should kind of focus on? Because it seems to me that
when things are imbalanced, they topple over and they collapse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and that's been repeated, and I can tell you the data for that. Okay, if you look at past civilizations, when they reach this, where our civilization is right now, the top heaviness, the imbalance everywhere. That's my kid's hand right there.
Okay.
When those civilizations reached that kind of imbalance, they collapsed.
Yeah. Okay. I
So
agree. I
if it's
agree. I agree.
unsustainable, the imbalance is unsustainable. It does not, if you look at the universe and you look at the way the solar system works, everything is systematic and it's balanced. If you look at anything in nature, we can learn a lot from nature. When something's imbalanced, it goes away. It destroys itself.
I'm pretty
Mm.
sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure you're right about the fact that not a lot of civilizations have lasted with the huge income inequality as similar to how we have right now. But I don't think that funding more social programs is going to help that. That's what I don't think it's going to help. Um,
Uh,
Mm.
I am not informed
Baby
enough
steps.
on economy to
I think it's
know
baby
how to
steps.
deal with it.
So what I'm looking at, okay, so social programs, whatever that means, I think that's baby steps to closing the gap with that inequality. So whatever's imbalance is going to collapse. That's my closing statement.
Okay.
Mm.
My closing statement will be. Oh wait, did I already give it?
Hey!
Did I already give it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, another debate with another opponent, Zach. So that was super
That was
heated.
fun as fuck. Thank you so much
So,
for talking.
so yeah. So Neff, I want to let you know that like Zach, he Eric has been Eric's a debate coach, as you already know, and he's been practicing with Zach, and Zach really uh, he likes a good debate, and they made a video once with Eric being an ENTP and Zach being an INTP, is that what he does value, or what makes sense to them, is that we're able to detach ourselves from our arguments and our and ideas, right, and our explanations, so that we're not attached to them to the point where if the idea is attacked, then we're not attacked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's I had to be mindful of that in the past. I had to be mindful of that, and it was very interesting because I felt like I got something out of that, right? And I think with these different types, it's not that we have to come to the same answer all the time because that's unrealistic. What we do have to, what how we would mutually benefit is that if we can somehow improve our ability to so that we can have better communication, because if we don't understand them, because even though we're using the same words like objective, we're using the same word as abstract, we're using the same word such as what's it called, correct and things like that, we're actually not talking about the same thing, even though the word is the same. And that's where INTPs and ENTPs and maybe other types too are very, very anal about. That's precision and that's another term that you guys maybe don't agree upon is intellectual honesty. I would hope that in the future we would agree upon those things. So now I do want to go meta. Now before we go meta, I'm gonna introduce a little.
Oh, never
Well,
mind, never mind. That's more like
yeah, we don't need postmodernism in here. I agree. So what I wanted to do is just do like a 10-minute, or not 10-minute, 10-second breathing. Do you guys want to breathe for a
We
bit?
need to figure out what type Nefertari is. We need to figure out what her type is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say
I'm not tripping at all. I'm good.
I'm gonna go with.
Okay, I am stressed out. Like
That's okay. Tony.
okay, yeah.
Dude, I can't wait
Okay.
to see. I can't wait to see Eric's reaction to this. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Eric would. I think Eric
Eric's
would love
gonna be
this.
so happy to see that we did all this like on our own. But
Okay. So okay,
okay, we
without
gotta figure out her type. Yeah. What do you? What would you guess, Tony, if you had to?
INFP, INFJ.
I want to say INTJ.
Very close.
ISTJ?
I'm actually no.
Okay, no, don't give us it.
You wanna know?
We want to earn it. We want.
There are okay. So let me give you a hint. There are characters. The personality type INTJ is confused for the one that I am. People have typed certain characters as INTJs when they weren't INTJs, and there are like kind of ongoing conversations on forums and stuff. trying to type a certain character and saying, is this person an INTJ or a?
Oh, okay. Well, okay, well, Robert from our guest audience here says that you're a J for sure. Let me see here. No, she's not an ENTJ. No, definitely not.
I've never been ENTJ. I don't know what ENTJs are like.
ENTJs, their nickname is Commander, so that might give you a clue. Um, are you gonna?
And so look, when I said very close with INTJ, that's what I meant when I said that you were close, was that certain characters are confused. I'm not saying that the letters were close.
INTJ. That's interesting.
I think some of the functioning, I don't know the terminology and all this. I don't know it well enough yet, but I know that some of the functions and the way we kind of do things are similar.
What I found interesting,
kind of mistaken.
Right. What I found interesting was that you mentioned big picture a couple of times, right? When you said big picture,
NE, right?
Come again?
Is that an NE concept?
No, not necessarily. Big picture might be NI, so might be that's why I guessed. Maybe you're INFJ or ENFJ, eh? Maybe ENFJ. You're smiling more. I don't know. I'm trying to.
Nope.
Okay, do you want to approach this from another perspective? Let's use more information from that intense debate. You're not ENFJ, are you?
Did you think I was moved at all with the debate emotionally?
I don't know. This doesn't really matter. It was fun though.
I
really appreciate you engaging.
I'm asking. So this would be a good hint.
Yeah. What was the question one more time?
Does it seem like I was emotionally moved during that debate?
Like persuaded or like
I don't think so, no.
affected?
I wouldn't say so.
Emotionally, like stressed out or affected emotionally.
So I wouldn't know for sure because I'm using FI as an ENFP, and my subconscious sixth function is FE. So it's strong, but sometimes it's hit or miss for me. So I would guess that you were moved or affected. You were emotionally affected. I would say that.
Yeah. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah.
I don't think you were. I don't think you were. I think you're. I think you tie in your internal values with your beliefs, but I don't think it's like enough to get you upset. So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't in the least bit.
Yeah, I don't think you were
affected by it.
Well, I mean, Naf, would you say that Zach was emotionally invested? And how were you?
I think it may be.
I definitely get animated. That's the
it's kind of a tactic of his communication.
Like the kind of
I wouldn't necessarily say his emotions were. I don't think it was something that was. It could have been just the way he presents himself in a debate to kind of dominate the conversation. It doesn't necessarily mean that he was
correct.
Emotionally attached to that presentation.
Well, I
just want to end saying that, or not in the video, but all of my views are subject to change in light of new information or understandings. So I just want to clarify that right now.
Yeah,
mine too.
Yeah. As we should all, because if we were stuck in our own ways, then we'll die. Essentially, in one way or another.
Maybe to the ENFP you would die.
Yeah, that's just my perspective. You know, we're metaphorically dying. You know, we're not adapting to the changing world.
Ever about like the getting involved with or like what Eric's channel has done. It's brought like people with different cognitive faculties together, and we have like this intellectual discourse, and it's engaging, and we put our ideas out there, and it's just fun and it's great. I love this stuff so much.
Zach is tremendously energized by it. The last, I'm not sure if you saw the last one of the previous videos, And if we had a fellow Canadian Muslim woman come on board, and it was pretty much a debate, and that got really engaging too. Like we all had fun actually. In the she was an INTJ. She was an INTJ, so that was a little slightly different. And then yeah, it was very interesting. And Eric was involved too, and he's a debate coach, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was very fun.
Yeah. And here I am. I was trying to be just neutral. I don't think I was good at moderating as much because I just kind of allowed you guys to. I felt like you guys were the energies were so high on YouTube. I was just like,
So
ooh,
fun.
yeah. But I felt like it was still we didn't pass any lines. I don't think.
Okay, just kill me. What
Say
is your type? What is your type?
yeah. I'll just say it.
An ENTP?
Oh.
Really?
Oh.
That is interesting. Oh, is it?
Now,
And then
here's a
that
chance.
Makes sense. Wait, go on.
There's a possibility that you could be wrong, right? There's a possibility that I'm not an ENTP.
I've taken the test 4 times in 4 different places.
Yeah,
and I matched the description to the T. My life is.
So, would we say that it's very likely that you are an ENTP?
I would say like 99.9%.
Fair enough. Okay.
I think maybe there is a huge part of my communication that may be different because I've been a therapist for 9 years now, and I've had to kind of modify the way I present myself and kind of be careful about the way I communicate.
Oh,
and
you know what?
it's kind of shaped the way I talk to people.
I love that you brought that up because I think an idea that people come across is that we should not be defined by Myers-Briggs. There's so many we're so much more complex than just how we take in information. And it has a significant impact, but it doesn't define us. Even within ENTPs, even within any type that we have, there could be so many other factors that change who we are. Not only our upbringing, the culture that we were born in, that we were thrown in. We have different motivations, our family, things like that. So I like the fact that we can't be pigeonholed into one type. We're so much more than that. And our previous speaker.
What threw you off? What would you say threw you off about guessing?
You being an ENTP. Zach, do you want to answer that?
I still think you have NI because you're and it might be the way you like you said how you've been a therapist for a while, but a lot of your initial arguments you were explaining how like you don't necessarily, I guess you're referring to your SI, right, when you were saying how you don't store data, all data unless it's necessary to what you're interested in, right? So I guess that's what you're referring to. But I think that's an NI thing. I think that's an NI tendency to jump to conclusions without knowing how they got there. That's what I think NI is.
Well, I didn't jump to conclusions. I actually had the data. I looked at the data and formed my conclusion. Once the conclusion was there,
you could say our type is the cognitive faculties that we preference the most, that we tend to utilize the most.
Now, let's see here. We do have another guest, actually 2 more guests. I'm not sure if both of them are available to come in. Would you guys be welcome to have another famous person come on board and join in on this interesting discussion?
I'm gonna close up this recording first. Nefertari, it was very great having the discussion, and thank you so much for coming on. This was very fun. All the discussion, learning about your type and everything. Absolutely great time. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a blast.
Yeah, my heartbeat was like, oh my goodness. Zach, I didn't like how you cuss sometimes because that's inappropriate for a debate. But this is not a normal debate because this is just the internet.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop recording. Any last words for sup at the end of this?
Shout out to peace.
Bye.
Talking with famous people.
Talking with famous
Nefertari.